Hello and welcome to our news program, broadcasting from Hanoi. These are the highlights.
The National Assembly Standing Committee opened its 13th meeting in Hanoi. The Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences convenes its 10th plenary assembly in southern Dong Nai province. The Ministry of Finance and the Australian Department of Treasury signed a Memorandum of Understanding on bilateral cooperation.
The National Assembly's Standing Committee opened its 13th meeting in Hanoi on December 11th.
National Assembly Chairman Witten Sing Hung said that at this meeting, the committee will assess results of the National Assembly's fourth session. The committee will discuss and approve programs on external activities and international cooperation in 2013 for committees and agencies of the National Assembly, as well as a working program for the Standing Committee next year. Another important issue is to give opinions on the second draft amendments to the 1992 Constitution. The draft guidance on how to implement the National Assembly's resolution on conducting votes of confidence will also be tabled for discussion. Regarding the work of law building, the Standing Committee will give opinions on several bills including the land law. 2 national target programs relating to climate change and environmental pollution issues will also be discussed at the meeting. Looking back at the National Assembly's fourth session, the Standing Committee agreed that the session had completed a large volume of important works. The committee also noted the longer live TV coverage of the session, saying that it helped increase publicity and transparency in the National Assembly's operation. They added that this was also a useful channel allowing voters nationwide to make more accurate assessments on the legislators' activities.
A high-ranking delegation from Hanoi, led by Secretary of the Municipal Party Committee, Phạm Quang Nghi, is on a visit to Laos from December 8th to 12th. On December 10th, the delegation was received by General Secretary of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party and President Thumalay Seyasson.
At the meeting, Nghi congratulated the Lao people on their achievements in the past years and briefed the host on the socio-economic situation of Vietnam and the capital city. He also informed the Lao president of the outcomes of his talks with Vientiane leaders, during which the two sides discussed specific and practical measures to foster future cooperation. President Seyasson highly valued the delegation's visit, affirming that Vietnam-Laos relation is developing on both scale and depth. He suggested that the two sides strengthen information exchange and experience sharing, as well as boost investment cooperation to further promote the Vietnam-Laos special relationship. On December 11th, Phạm Quang Nghi visited the northern Lao province of Luang Prabang, where he held talks with the secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Kham Phang Say Som Phang. The two sides agreed that they will promote cooperation in education as training, tourism and conservation, and agricultural production. Say Som Phang spoke highly of the Hanoi delegation's visit during the year of Vietnam-Laos, Laos-Vietnam friendship and solidarity. He also thanked Hanoi for its support in the past. For his part, Nghi congratulated the province on its achievements in socio-economic development in recent years, and stressed that the visit will contribute to promoting the special friendship and solidarity between Vietnam and Laos, as well as between Hanoi and Luang Prabang.
The Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences convened its 10th plenary assembly in southern Dong Nai province on December 11th. The meeting was held in Vietnam for the first time.
Addressing the event, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs and Head of the Government Committee for Religious Affairs, Pham Dung, said that the plenary assembly is an important event in the spiritual life of the Catholic community in Asia and Vietnam. Dung stressed that the Vietnamese state has always pursued the consistent policy on respecting people's right to religious freedom. He also affirmed that Vietnam always respects the fine spiritual and moral values of religions, including Catholicism, which contribute to bettering social life. The event sees the participation of 122 cardinals, archbishops, bishops and church representatives from Asia, Europe, Australia and the Vatican. The closing session will take place on December 16th in Ho Chi Minh City. Earlier, on December 10th, Deputy Minister Duong met with representatives from the Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences in Hanoi. The Deputy Minister affirmed that Catholicism, the second largest religion in Vietnam, has made many contributions to the construction and development of the country. He hoped the delegation would learn more about the daily life and religious activities of Vietnamese parishioners and offer suggestions to improve his committee's management of religious affairs. Cardinal Gaudencio Rosales, Special Envoy of Pope Benedict XVI, and Cardinal Oswald Crasius, Secretary-General, Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences, said the Pope is aware of the Vietnamese Catholic community's positive developments. The Pope highly appreciates the support that the Vietnamese government offered to Vatican's non-permanent representative to the country. The two cardinals also said the delegation was touched by the friendship and openness of Vietnamese people.
A delegation from the U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration paid a working visit to Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology in Hanoi on December 10th. The visit aimed to review cooperative results in space technology between Vietnam and the U.S.
National Administrator Jacques Borden said the U.S. will assist Vietnam in the research and applications of space technology, particularly in human resource training. The two sides agreed on the possibility for cooperation in data sharing and training for researchers of the Vietnam's Academy of Science and Technology, particularly in natural disaster forecast. Later the same day, at an exchange with Vietnamese scientists and students, the NASA administrator expressed his hope for stronger cooperation in space technology between Vietnam and the U.S., especially in the applications of satellite technology to observe the environment, natural resources, and disasters. He also encouraged scientists, young researchers, and students to cooperate with NASA to generate new ideas.
The Ministry of Finance and the Australian Department of Treasury has signed a Memorandum of Understanding on bilateral cooperation.
The Memorandum of Understanding was inked during Finance Minister Vương Đình Huê's visit to Australia from December 10 to 14, where he had a meeting with Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer Wayne Swan. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, Vietnam and Australia will strengthen technical assistance on budget management, macroeconomic stabilization, and economic reform policies. The signing of the document marks a new step in the growing cooperation between the two countries. On the same day, the Vietnamese delegation visited Queensland University to discuss measures to boost cooperation with Vietnamese universities.
Japan remains the largest foreign investor in Vietnam in the first 11 months of 2012, according to the Foreign Investment Department under the Ministry of Planning and Investment.
Japanese companies poured $5.05 billion into Vietnam in the period, accounting for 41.5% of total foreign investment in the country. The 10 biggest Japanese projects alone have a combined investment capital of $3.1 billion, the department said. According to the Japan External Trade Organization, the number of Japanese companies investing in Vietnam has doubled over the past 6 years. The organization also noted the increase in the number of small and medium-sized projects, especially those in the field of production.
That comes to the end of our program. We thank you always for being with us and see you next time.